Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders seeing what's current. All right. Before we start anything, we have to promote. Not myself. This is a gentleman that has seriously taken me, as a contender, as somebody that's viable on this platform. His name is Spirit. I don't know if he wants his last name said. Certain circles. So I'll just say his name is Spirit, and you can check him out on at uh, SpiritSmoothTunes or Spirit Smooth Tunes. Okay, make sure you listen to his music. It's got great R&B, really smooth, jazzy kind of feel, very cafe kind of relaxing kind of style. Quiet Storm, whatever you want to call it. It's all great. You won't be disappointed by going to his channel. So it's at Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. So make sure you check him out. He's definitely a major supporter. I'm gonna reveal it. He's my one and only 50 club member. Nobody else is part of that club. He is exclusive to that club. So make sure you check him out. Check out all his work that he's been putting in over the past few months and years. And I really appreciate him. So that's my promotion. I'll probably be doing more promotion for him, during the show and subsequent shows. All right. Now we got to get into something a little more serious. Bronny James had a cardiac arrest. If you're not up to speed, that's LeBron James' son. He's 18 years old. He's in college. He's one of the top players in the country. He's listed at number 20 out of 100 players in the top tier, number 6 as a point guard. And he had a cardiac arrest. Just like earlier this year, we saw a football player on the field, Hamlin, have a cardiac arrest. So what is going on with our young, especially black athletes? I have one idea that could, tie into what is going on. It's called John Henryism. Now, this is a very deep and psychological, more than physical ideal than anything. It relates to mainly people with, black people overextending themselves and working so hard that they have higher blood pressure, higher stresses, higher hypertension, and they literally work themselves to death. That's basically it. And I'm just using this in the physical sense. I'm not going to use this in the psychological or mental sense, but in the physical sense. Hamlin and Bronny James, just two examples. There's much more. There's a whole list of other examples of young men. Hamlin's only 25, and Bronny James is 18. So these are young men. These are supposedly healthy young men, strong, working out, using their muscles, they're using their mind to work their muscles, using their brain to function on the court or on the football field or on anywhere else. On baseball, I don't know if there's any other players, but I know this year it's been two. And is it part of the physical? I'll call it the physical John Henryism. Like, he was physical. He worked. The myth of John Henry was that he worked himself to death. He did a great job. He did excellent. He beat the machine. But the price for beating the machine was him dying. And I'm not wishing death on anyone, not on Hamlin or on James. I'm just pointing out that there seems to be some kind of correlation between these young black men who get on these fields and push themselves all the way to the limit so far that they have cardiac arrests and other ailments, other issues. I mean, of course, they have other ailments. They have torn ligaments and ACLs and Achilles heel and broken arms, broken legs, broken fingers. I mean, they put it out there. They're not playing around. They're very serious about their work, about their craft. So I think it's important to explore this just for a moment, just how serious this condition can be. and it's a great thing that Damar Hamlin pulled through. And I don't have I'm an atheist, so I don't say I'm lifting up my prayers and wishes and my thoughts. I'm just saying that I acknowledge and respect the medical professionals that are caring for the Bronny at this time. It's been a few months since Damar Hamlin's cardiac arrest. I don't know his condition right now, but he's healthy enough to send his quote unquote prayers up to the family of LeBron James and to Bronny's family. You know, it's just a sad situation, and I think it's because we have so many people focused on sports, especially black people. Black people dominate almost every sport except NASCAR and hockey and golf. I mean, you had Tiger Woods. It was like for a minute, it was like Tiger. All right, black people got golf too, and tennis. And it seemed like everything was going, and they pushed themselves so hard. They don't play. They go into a mode of they have to be the best. And chances I'm watching a documentary of Stephon Curry. It's showing how he had air balls and he had bricks and had all kinds of stuff. And then all you see in the highlight reels are him making these 3-pointers and shots from half court and over again. And it's like he's won what 3 or 4 championships. He's pushed himself that far. He's pushed himself that hard to be someone of greatness. And for whom? Especially I'm talking about NBA players and NFL players and MLB. For whom? For to be millionaires and to get money to billionaires, the team owners and the executives and general managers. That's the reality of this case. And Bronny is not even getting a dime unless he gets, some kind of deal with his likeness, namesake, or image. LNI or NIL. I don't know. They switching around. Name, image, and likeness. That's this give it the L and nil. Name, image, and likeness. He's a college player that could possibly, get hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, based on what he looks like, what he wears, what he does, because they lifted the restrictions on college students to get paid through the corporations. But it's trinkets. It's not. It's hardly a drop in the bucket to the coaches that are getting paid millions of dollars. The school, administrators getting paid millions of dollars. It's a totally different game, and I think it's because of the physical John Henryism. Physical John Henryism. Because that's more of a technical psychological term. I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes. I'm just trying to make a correlation. I'm just trying to make a metaphor or an aside to what is going on with these young people. Very young, strong, supposedly. They're not weaklings. They're working out. They're eating right. They're eating the right foods. They're on a dietary schedule. They're not. This isn't like for play, even though they're playing. It's work. That's the ironic part of it. We say they're playing basketball, they're playing football, they're playing hockey, they're playing baseball. They're just driving around in circles in their NASCAR, and it's work. It's all work. And Bronny has the chance to go into the league, the NBA, National Basketball Association. You have to say out the abbreviations, but he has that opportunity. He has that chance. He's that good, like his father. He could be part of greatness as well, just like his dad. And it just seems to me that these young black men, especially, are working themselves damn near to death. They're overreaching. It's great to work. It's great to work hard. It's great to work smart. That's even better. Working smart. That's the key to being an athlete, a sportsman, someone that knows what they're doing, someone that has an idea of what is with the game. That's all they have to focus on. That's all they have to rely on because they don't have it. No one else is going to care. Only their family, friends. I mean, even teammates may not. Try to take my spot. It's not. But then there are sincere teammates that do, show up and try to see the best in the welfare of these athletes. So I wonder, with Damar Hamlin and Bronny James, the things that push them, the things that make them possible, have gotten them to some level of excellence. And Damar Hamlin was in the league. He's in the league. He's in the NFL, and he experienced this cardiac arrest. And Bronny's just a college kid. He's trying to make it, out and try to be somebody of that caliber of his father. Thank you, Christopher Perkins. I appreciate that. We salute to you. Salute to you, Christopher Perkins. I appreciate that. Thank you. But this is serious. Hamlin, like he could be walking around and talking, and he's looks like he's okay. But inside, his heart went through something very traumatic. His whole system, his whole cardiovascular system went through something that's very serious. And he's probably taking certain drugs. He's probably on, probably he may have to be on a ventilator at night. I don't know. Not trying to be funny. I'm just saying he might have to use a walker sometimes. I don't know the case, but that is a serious condition that once you have it, once you experience it, it's going to be like a challenge from here on out. In Bronny's case, it's probably the same here. I mean, it was said that he was found unconscious. And I think that's what happened to Hamlin too. Damar Hamlin, he was temporarily unconscious for at least a few moments. He didn't have all the strength, to keep going because of his heart. He had a serious issue with his heart. And it just reminds me of the physical John Henry. You work so hard. You put in so much effort. You put in so much of your skill. I'm going to talk about Christopher Perkins. Christopher Perkins chimes in. He says he needs to forget about basketball and focus on his school and work and become a businessman and something. That's what I'm stressing. That's what I was saying earlier. I said, you got these you got these athletes on these courts, on these fields, on these racetracks, wherever you want to call it, on the ice. I don't care what you are, white, black, brown, red, yellow. I don't care what race you are, you're a human being. And to push yourself beyond the limits of what you're supposed to be can be detrimental to your health, mentally, physically, everything. So I'm agreeing with Christopher Perkins. I applaud that. I applaud that. That's a great observation because that's what I was saying earlier. I was saying how you have these millionaires on the floor in the league, not Bronny. Bronny James is not a millionaire. His daddy's he's a billionaire, I think, by now. LeBron James. But you have, for the most part, you have millionaires playing for billionaires. That there's a joke. I'll be a little bit light right now. Paul Mooney said it's kind of serious though. It's a joke, but it has serious implications. Why can't I'm gonna see if anybody? I got one person, Christopher Perkins. If you're in the live chat or anyone else wants to jump in the live chat, I'm gonna ask the question and see what happens. All right. Why can't white men jump? I'll give you 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Why can't white men jump? They don't need to. They own the team. They're not out there busting their buns, you know, trying, lifting weights in the ice bath, running sprinters, uh, using the parachute. They're not using, kettle weights. They're not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to run. They're not eating eggs or smoothies, or maybe they are eating eggs and smoothies. But you see my point. You see, they're not physically doing the work. They're not physically doing it. And like Mr. Troy Star Terrainer said, the NBA especially is a $40 million slave trade. It's just a slave trade. They get passed around from team to team. They can't negotiate deals on their own without, a whole lot of, litigation. And it's just like slavery. I mean, it's not as horrific, of course. I'm not saying that, but there was a book. Let me look it up right now, called $40 Million Slaves. The Rise, Fall, and Redemption of the Black Athlete. And it's by William C. Roden. So he had the idea of that, you know? Thanks. Well, that's Paul Mooney. That is a great answer for Paul. That's Paul Mooney. The late great Paul Mooney. He said that because that's true. And then he said, they make it jump, 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 jump. They make it jump because it's true. They're not on the court. They're not bouncing a ball. They're not running up 48 minutes. A game. Some players 44, 46 minutes. And it happens to be that, it already had the cards are stacked against him for being a black man. Hypertension, high blood pressure. I don't know if maybe those are the same thing. I always confuse them, but stress it, in their minds, mental complications. It's serious. And the owners are majority white. They're like 99% white. The only owner I can think of in the NBA is Michael Jordan, and he sold his stake for $3 billion. And the Hornets. I'm trying to remember where they are now. Who are the Hornets? They used to be in Charlotte. I think they might have moved back to Charlotte. Yeah, okay, they're back in Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, Michael Jordan, said, and the sale's been approved. It's just this is breaking news. This is breaking news. This happened just a few days ago. Hornets sale approved. Michael Jordan's 13-year run as NBA team owner ends, per report. Jordan will set the team to a group led by Rick Schnall and Gabe Plotkin for a valuation of approximately $3 billion. So, is he the owner anymore? He has, he's selling minority ownership of it. He's selling his tenure as the majority owner, but he may still have minority ownership. Who knows? But that's here nor there. How many other black I'm not saying coaches, black and even coaches, but mainly owners. How many owners are there? How many black owners are in the NBA besides what was Michael Jordan? Now I think it's 100% white, or non-black, Hispanic or Latino. I'm not even sure, but it's very few. It's very few, and it's a sad shame because we want to see our athletes. We want to see them do well. We want to see the great, buzzer beaters and the crossovers and the quick dishes and the slashes and the dunks and the running down the field, 80 yards for a touchdown and stuff like that. I mean, we want to see all that. That's just part of our nature as Americans, especially. We want to see bone crushing hits. That's another issue. CTE, I'm not going to say the whole thing because I don't know what it is, but that's a mental condition. That's a brain condition, for the NFL. But back to the NBA and back to college, back to basketball. You have so many of these black young men who have trained probably ever since they had a ball in the crib. You know, LeBron James probably put the ball in Bronny's crib when he was just an infant. Said, "You're gonna be like me one day." And he went out into the court, shot jumpers for 2, 3, 4 hours straight. He worked on his dribble. He worked on it, plays, on different strategies. He knew all of that, and it's a shame that he has to experience this condition. Because, like I said, he's marked now. He's he, it's the condition. It entails that if you have it one time, you're probably going to have it again. So, what does that do for his future? What does that do for Hamlin's future? What are they going to do for their living? Are they prepared to be on the level of saying that they're trying to be an athlete, someone that is going to be consistent and continue despite their physical ailment? Is that part of the game? Is that part of what we should be able to do as people? How does that work exactly? How does that even function? How do we get to a point where we have these young people, especially, and like I said, 25 is young. I mean, technically that's old in a lot of circumstances, but 25 is still very young, and 18 is extremely young. He's almost a kid again. 17 is when you're a kid. 18 is when you turn into a man, by way of the press and things of that nature. But Bronny is not. He's not a joke. He's not a bum. He was putting in the work. All he was doing is just going to practice. That's all it was. It was practice. Iverson said, "Practice, practice." That's what we're talking about now. Practice. Not a game. Not a game. Practice. That's what it was. It was a workout session. It was practice. And he, collapsed. He collapsed during this. That's sad. That's extremely sad. And like I said, I'm a non-believer in the theory of God, but I would say, respect to that family, respect to everyone that's around him, respect to him, and I acknowledge them because that's a very severe issue, cardiac arrest, and it's probably it could still be John Henry, because John Henry concerns physical ailments like high blood pressure and stressors. So that could probably be another issue with, Bronny and DeMar Hamlin. They experienced something that few people may not understand, but within the black culture and the black experience, it's serious. I mean, if you look at the statistics, I'm not exactly sure about it. I'm just flowing right now. But the statistics say, black men are lower than white men on terms of life expectancy. Like white men, I think is like 75. I don't know. Let me look it up so I know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Life expectancy for whites versus black. It is a long article. Hold on. Oh, it is a very long article. I'm going to try to get to the meat of it, the quick part. All right. Okay. Life expectancy gap between black and white American diminishes by 48.9%. Okay, that sounds good, I think. But in 2018, this is 2018, whites were 70. It was 78.5% life expectancy, and for blacks it was 74.9% for life expectancy. As compared to 1990, 76.1% white and 69.1% black. So I think those are actually positive. If I'm not mistaken, I'm stupid. I'm not good with numbers. Um, but there's a whole lot of issues. I mean, look at COVID-19. COVID-19 happened, and there was unintentional injuries, homicide, diabetes, chronic liver disease, and psoriasis. The life expectancy among Black Americans in the United States decreased from 74.7 years to 71.8 years. Among white individuals, life expectancy decreased from 79.9 years to 77.6 years. So, I mean, it's like that's just an aggregate. That's an average. You know, it's not to be taken as, oh, well, my granddaddy lived to 107. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the outliers. That's an outlier right there. That's an anomaly. And I often get those confused. They're similar. In some instances, they're the same. But in the grand scheme of things, it's about John Henryism. Look that up. That's what it is. They go so hard. They're not playing around. They're not joking. I remember the documentary on Kobe. How he put in the work. And then they have tapes of Michael Jordan putting in the work. And even his father, Bronny's father, LeBron James, puts in the work. He's one of the greatest. You can debate all day. Oh, is he greater than Jordan? Is he the GOAT? I don't know. All I know is he's good. He's very good. He's excellent. Actually, he's excellent. Is he better than Jordan? It's debatable. I would say he's not, but you can debate it. He's in that conversation. He's in the top 10 greatest best NBA players of all time. That's a fact. He is that good. So, Bronny, coming up in the game as a college player, 18 years old, cardiac arrest. What does that spell for upcoming athletes? Why, like Christopher Perkins said, why are we not focused on being businessmen and business people? That's the weird part about, what Jay-Z says, at my arraignment screaming, all we got is blacks as a sports and entertainment. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to rhyme like Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. And if I say any more, I'll probably get a copyright strike. But that's the facts. I mean, that's what it is. Look at banking. Look at the banking system. I remember Kenneth Chenault. I don't know if he was retired now or something like that, but that was like 15 years ago. But Kenneth Chenault was the head of Jesus. Chase? Hold on. Okay. He was the head of American Express. He was the chairman and CEO from 2001 to 2018. So that's a good run. I hope he made value in those years. He could have just stuck around for affirmative action issues, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. It's like we have it in our mind to say, are you going to be a rapper or are you going to be a basketball player? Because that's what it was for me. As a little kid, I was like, man, I'm gonna be a rapper. My rap name was gonna be Script. That was gonna be my rap name. And I had a drawing with the eye as a microphone. I was like 11 or something like that. But now the only thing I rap are gifts. So don't ask me to rap. But I was playing basketball because it's a sad situation. It's really the blues because you enjoy it, you like it. It's a fun game, but you're like, oh, you're another black person playing basketball. Seen it before, know what that's like. Been there, done that. All right, can you do anything else? And that's the part of art. You have people within hip hop culture that are entrepreneurs, and you have that with in the sports realm as well. They have endorsements and they have their own companies and foundations and stuff like that. But it's not the same as strictly business. Strictly, I'm not going to rap or play basketball. I'm going to get my MBA from Harvard, start my own company, and keep it going from there. Or I'm gonna go to Stanford, drop out, and start my own $1 billion social network. You know, that's what I'm talking about. That's where we have to go. So, to wrap this thing up on this level, on this topic, Bronny has to be known for his skill, for his ability, and he is still someone to be reckoned with, despite this occurrence. He's still someone that is a contender. And I haven't even gotten to boxing. I just thought about boxing. Look at that. Yeah, he's at USC. Yeah, University of was California, Southern California. Is that it? USC. He was at a different school. Yeah, University of Southern California. Yeah. He was at a different school, but I can't remember what it was called. I have to look that up again. So he was definitely looking for he's no longer in the ICU, and he's definitely looking for he was code 3. He was labeled code 3. I mean, the ambulance used lights and sirens and racing to get Bronny medical attention. I didn't even know that was what it was called. Code 3. He was he was a 4-star recruit at Sierra Canyon High School. He decided on USC, but he considered Ohio State Buckeyes and Oregon Ducks. So there's that. Yeah, he doesn't have to play. He doesn't have to play. He's still in good condition. As long as he has his mind, he can still do business completely, just complete business totally. Forgo all the basketball stuff. Be an owner. Like I want to be. I want to see that. Like it was amazing 20 years ago, or almost 20 years ago. Maybe it was a little over 20 years or almost 20 years ago. Jay-Z said, I'm an owner of the Nets when they were in New Jersey, the New Jersey Nets. I'm going back for some of you kids. Some of you kids ask your aunties and your uncles. Jay Z owned a team. Yes, he did. But he had like the smallest percentage. He had like 0.000428. I'm just making that up. But he didn't have a major stake. But he probably still made what 2 million or 10 million. On his position, on his stake, on his minority stake. But that was just that just that was like a little crack. That was like a little crack, a little fissure in the a little chink in the armor. To let you know, look, I can do this too. I can make these moves. I mean, there's so many other issues. Dr. Dre with the beats. People were saying he's the first black or first hip hop billionaire. I think Jay Z claimed that crown totally because Dre was like, hold on, whoa, not there. I'm at like 800 million, but I'm not at like a billion yet. And that opened the door for so many others. Rihanna, uh, when he was sane or almost sane, or when he had his some kind of semblance of a mind, yay, a billionaire. What does he have now? Maybe $75 million. I don't know. Maybe $500 million. I don't know. And I don't care. I'm not supporting him anymore. He has to do something tremendous. He has to buy a synagogue or something like that and turn it into, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like he has to do something so sincere and significant that it would blow everyone away, in very tasteful and classy fashion. I'm gonna spend a whole hour on this because that's serious. I was gonna promote my own stuff, but I'm gonna promote again. Here, I will promote again at Spirit Smooth Tunes. I'm gonna put that in the live chat at Spirit Smooth Tune on YouTube. Check out Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. That's a bit of a mouthful, but I'm glad he has that. It's pretty good. Check out Spirit Smooth Tunes on. So that's what it is. It's like it's the blues. I mean, I just go back to what the late great August Wilson said. It's the blues. That's our literature. That's our philosophy. Uh, I would say all peoples, because even white people experience the blues. God, damn it, George Thorogood from Delaware and the Delaware Destroyers, Bad to the Bone fame. Who do you love fame, and I don't drink alone fame. Represents my state. He can drink, he can sing the blues, but I get August Wilson was especially speaking about them being black people. How they convey the blues. It's just that weird situation. It's like he said, I might mess this up. He had a quotation. He had a quote. He said, you know, uh, there was a guy named Balboa, and the world was his ocean, and he was drowning. Like that's it. Every play that he wrote contained that sentiment, that idealism in it. Everything that he ever said, everything that I ever wrote down. Because you got the world, you got everything going for you, but you're drowning. You're not. That's the tension. That's the drama. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's the thing. That's what makes life interesting. Hopefully you survive, but then you're gonna die anyway. Just like August Wilson at 60 years old. You don't know who August Wilson is? He was a premier, an excellent playwright of 10 special plays, monumental, monumental plays. They call it the Pittsburgh cycle or the 20th century cycle. People have said, there's Shakespeare, there's Chekhov, there's Steinberg, there's Arthur Miller, there's, uh, there's Tennessee Williams, so many others. I'm not gonna name them all, but there's so many others. And they have left their mark on the world, and he did too. But that's what the blues. That's what the blues are. That's the power of the blues. It's a sadness, but it's a sweetness too. It's weird. It's very strange. It's like, and one of his key characters said, the blues, white people hear it, but they don't know where it came from. You know, what the blues get you up in the morning. It it says that you're not alone in this world. That's deep, and that's what it really is. That's what it's like. We have so many tragedies. We have so many different issues in our minds and our lives. This Bronny case. I mean, it rips your mind apart. I hate using look at that, cardiac arrest, exactly. But it just tears at your mind. It really does. Because this is a young kid, famous. Technically, by extension, his dad is probably the most famous black man in the world right now. To be honest, or one of the, if not the most famous person in the black person in the world. And he just, he took his own route. He didn't drop out of high school. He went to college, still in college. He just went a different way than his dad. and it looks like he could be even better. He was a All American. He was a McDonald's All American in high school. Then he went to USC. That's beautiful. That's a wonderful thing. And what's so sad is the fact that they have these John Henrys, these people that work themselves to death. Not saying, you know what I mean, but work themselves so hard, work themselves so viciously to be great, to be wonderful, to be excellent. They put in so much time and effort in order to achieve something that is so unattainable for most of us. I'm 5'11". I could barely be a point guard. There's Spud Webb and Muggsy Bogues. That's the only people I can think of, that, and there's a few more, I'm sure, but and close to it, if I had an inch on me, I could be, or 2 inches on me, I could be my Allen Iverson. But it's like I had to give up that dream because it's just not reality. I looked at, I went on the Newark High School basketball court. First day, he was like, "You're gonna be doing this, this, and that, and this, and this, and that, and you're only this tall, and you're this." Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not doing this. It's all right because I knew I wouldn't be able to excel. But Bronny has found a way to excel. He's found a way to be great. Top top 20 out of 100. That's excellence. Top 6 point guard. That's excellence. So he has everything going for him. Even if he fell off, what they have, news reports, being with a white girl or something like that. Wasn't that earlier? Something like that? His white girlfriend. Peyton Galfuso. Talking all this stuff. Oh my God, no, he had a cardiac arrest months earlier. Yeah, he's with that white girl. Yeah, he can't get no sister. You know, like part of the game is that hating on him, and then turn around, something happened. Oh, oh, or even worse. Sometimes we're like, good. That's good. He shouldn't have been messing with them white girls in the first place. That's what happens. Stuff like that. Just very vicious, evil hatred, subjective hatred, subjectivism. That's all that is. And he knows it. He knows. He knew it. When he first met her, and he started courting. He catch flack. He catch hell. And then this happens. It's like, oh my God, Ronnie. So for Bronny to, excel and to get past this point, he has to, find a new regimen. That's all I can say. If you're not going to be a businessman, completely, because like I said, even his daddy is a businessman. He wouldn't have quote unquote $1 billion because I'm not sure if he has a billion yet, but he wouldn't be close to even $1 billion. He has, I'm pretty sure he has over $500 million. He had to be some kind of business mind, endorsements, movie deals, and sports franchises and stuff like that. That's what it is. That's all it is. Putting in the comment section, check out Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. Make sure you do that. Check out that man's work. He's he's a CEO. He is a CEO. It's entertainment. It's like what I'm doing now. It's entertainment. I'm black. Look at that. Personally, I'm a man of color who happens to live in America, but that's personally. Politically, I'm a black man. Because the cops are, I don't have my hands up. I turn around slowly. They're not going to say man of color who happens to live in America. They're going to say black boy. Get your hands in the air and turn around slowly. Facts. Not even kidding. Facts. I might have joked a little bit, but that's what it is. And you have to respect that. You have to respect the cops. I do. I respect policemen and women. It's something serious. It's not even a game. It's not even something to play with. It's something that is very contentious in the mind. You have to keep going back and forth saying, well, entertainment, sports, straight business. That's the thing we have. That's our sentiment. Sports, entertainment, sexy, fun, great, happy, business. Like, the irony of it is, everybody will, you ask anybody in a room, you say, who likes making money? And the whole room, oh, raise your hand. Oh, I like making money. But the making of the money is what they don't even realize. They're thinking about the money. If you just ask who likes money, you'll probably get more hands, but you're not going to get the understanding of what making money means. I'm talking about the people that work at Burger King as low-level employees, sweeping up and putting stuff in the freezer and stuff like. Well, I guess do they have freezers or is everything fixing the ice machines or something like that? It's like goes back and forth. But think about that level. You can go from being at the low-level position to being on the fries, to being on the cashier, and then to being a supervisor, then being a manager, to being a franchise owner. That's possible, especially in America. That's the American dream. That's the American dream. I mean, the American dream is something that is very different to very different people. It's an individual dream. It's your dream. Not the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids in the car in the garage and the chicken and every chicken or turkey in the pot. That's not the American dream, or for everyone anyway. The American dream is what you make it, what you think of it as. That's what it is. That's what makes you special. The fact that you have that dream, even if you're in Italy or Israel, North Korea. I already talked about Mrs. Park. I'm not going to chop up her name. But Miss Park, she got out of North Korea. She was in a terrible situation in China, but she made her way to the United States. It's possible. Because that's the American dream. Even if you're in Nigeria, you can have the American dream. Just like how Western countries aren't geographic. Japan is a Western country because of their policies and their government setup and how their mindset is. It's a Western country, even though it's Far East. That's the power of being a Western country and living the American dream. But I digress. Let's get back to Bronny. He's gonna be, looked at like Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin's probably like, he sent his, his well wishes and his hopes, and prayers, if you want to call them that. And he continued with that. And see what this is like for him. We'll see if he's training, if he retires. Bronny's only 18. 18 years of age. 18 years old. and he has a sense about him that he is, one of the greatest of his generation already. Is it genes? Is this part, what Jimmy the Greek was talking about? How the blacks were bred and put together. The largest black people were conditioned to be with the other black people, big black people, and they made other big black people. Is that even scientific, or is that pseudoscience? You tell me. It makes so. I mean, it does have its more merits. So if one tall person marries another tall person, chances are they're gonna have a taller person. And when the woman gives birth. So Bronny, keep your head up. Keep going. If you want to play basketball still, play basketball. Not knocking it. That's the sad part. We knock each other for our gifts and what we can do. And that's what, big homie again, Jay-Z, you can't knock the hustle. He wasn't talking about the crack game, he was talking about the rap game. He said, I'm starting this rap thing. I don't know where it'll take me, but I think I'm good enough. I think I'm great enough. And I'm gonna continue to be great. And what is he? Number one hip hop artist of all time, according to Billboard magazine. After company said, thanks, but no thanks. It's been real. We're gonna pass on you this time. Maybe see us in the future. Record companies told him he couldn't cut it. Now he's a billionaire based off of hip hop. Because he made investments, because of the money he made from hip hop, from rap. All the investments, the Duce and earlier than that, Rockefeller and the money that he took from there, he just bankrolled it and kept rising. Rock Nation kept going, didn't stop. So that's what Bronny needs to do, not stop. This is your gift. And I'm not saying in a mystical sense. I'm saying this is your, talent. This is what you have developed. The hard work plus talent kind of thing makes smart work. That's the key. That's what Bronny has achieved. He has achieved that level where he can become even bigger and better and stronger. you know, um, he has that possibility. Despite this, I don't know. Is this an injury? Is it what? Guess it's an injury. This illness, maybe it is. I don't know. This incident that occurred. Marvelous, marvelous. We have a target. Our target is $20 uh because of because of hold on because of because of Spirit. Spirit had this. So I have to say today's target is $20. Yes, today's target is $20. So you have to respect the target. Respect the fact that we have so many people going in and out, of the chat room. They're not dropping off any dollars. I need you to drop off the dollars. I put in this work. I do the research. I'm a one-man band man. I stand on my own square, and that's as close as I get to it, you know? So I need that 20. Need that 20. Because Spirit definitely blew out the role of being a 50 club member. That's $50 a month at least. He's definitely done over that. I appreciate it. Promoting. Check out Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. You will not be disappointed. It's very cool, relaxing music, something that you can groove to, something you can put on in the car. If you have you have your computer system set up, you have your YouTube and everything set up. It's definitely something that is very important to realize. That's what it was. Well, hey, look, if that's all you're sending, I'll take it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I I appreciate that, Marvelous. And don't be afraid. Don't be, cautious and telling other people about the show. I appreciate as many people that can get on. I mean, I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, and if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. All right, so subscribe, Scott Saunders. That's my hookup. Holla if you hear me. But Spirit Smooth Tunes, he's definitely a real person. I appreciate every dollar he has sent in, every time he supported me, every time he, you know, congratulated me. I appreciate that to the fullest. That's something that's very, meaningful to me and significant. It's something that I think is very vital and very truthful. And that's all I ask. I don't care if you hate on me. Don't hate on people like Courtney. Don't, Courtney can hold her own. That's why I back up. I start off saying, don't, me hating on Courtney. And then she comes in and be like, you ain't gonna tell me off or something, whatever she says. And then I back off like, okay, she can hold her own. But come at me. I'm just trying to get a dollar. That's all. I'm not even gonna kid around. But I want to put in the work, just like these athletes. They put in the work for the dollar. It's like, yeah, I want to be a millionaire. How you gonna get there? I don't know exactly. See, that's almost a quote from Dr. Farrar Gray, one of the leading 21st century CEOs. Look him up. Farrahgray. Farrar Gray. He definitely lit a fire under me to become an entrepreneur, to become a businessman, and to make sure I have the wherewithal and the understanding of myself and those that I know, and let that be something that is very you know crucial in life. To be your own boss, to be your own man, to be your own woman, or something else. Hey, but it's wonderful to live this life. I can't you know say that I am in pain or I'm in distress or depressed, probably because I'm taking oodles of drugs, oodles, oodles and noodles of drugs. No, but just like Bronny, Bronny put up numbers, put in the work for that reason, to be the best, to be great, to be somebody of worth. Oh, hold on. Gotta change the. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait 1 second. Thank you, Marvelous. You did come through. I was just waiting on it. Now today's target is $15. Doesn't look like we're gonna get all the way there, but hey, I'll take that $5 and run with it. It's a great thing that I have people like Marvelous and Spirit and Court and Christopher Perkins and so many others. I can't even name everybody, but Houston, that's another one. It's just people that stick out. Not even the people that give me money. People that hate me or hate on me. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's motivation. So again, Marvelous. Marvelous. Tell two friends and let the third one wonder. Oh, tell two friends and let the third person wonder about the show. Don't tell them. Let them. What's going on? What's that? What you looking at? Oh, nothing. It's nothing. It's just kid. Just a little blackie. All right, but seriously, I'm about to wrap it up. Bronny and anyone like you and all the athletes and everybody out there, do not become John Henry. Don't work yourself beyond your limits. Do your thing, be great, but don't overextend yourself. That's what I think happened. So, just as a precaution, all the way, it's all about betting. It's all about people getting money all the way around. It's not worth it. Live your life. Thank you very much. Take care.